Hello, I'm Martin Fencka and welcome to the first episode of Let's Play Othercide. So usually when I'm starting a new series, especially when it's a game that I haven't done before, I like the first episode to be more like an introduction where I talk a little bit about the series, about the game, so that you guys know what you can expect. But, well, this time I actually don't know what to say about Othercide other than that it's a pretty unique turn-based strategy. And other than that, I honestly feel that it's better that if I let the game do the talking and introduce itself during the first two cinematics and first mission. It does quite a decent job of introducing itself, and I think because of its uniqueness, it will do a better job than I would be able to do. And also, it's better when you can just see what the game is or what I will be talking about on the screen than just you seeing the first screen here and me talking about something that sometimes is not easy to explain. So we'll jump into the game right away. Maybe there's one more thing that I should say though. Usually when I'm recording a game, I make sure that I have some time in the game already so that I know what's going on. This time, I played for like an hour, maybe, not even that, just to make sure that I know how the controls work. But other than that, I don't really know anything else about the game, so I'll be exploring it together. There's some, or like the basic mechanics are similar to what you would expect from a turn-based game, but there are some like advanced things that will probably be quite different, so I hope it's not gonna bite us in the ass. But then on the other side, from what the game says, is that you are expected to fail and like you should have or you will need to have multiple tries to actually finish the game. So I guess we are supposed to fail a couple of times, so it's okay if we have to reload. Not reload. That's one thing the game doesn't have. You can't save and load whenever you want. It's saved automatically, so we may have to not reload but restart a couple of times. Okay. Oh, I wanted to check one thing because I didn't find difficulty settings, and in a game like this, that's something that I don't like. Um, because when you don't have the difficulty settings, there'll always be people who find it too easy and people who find it too difficult. So there should be this option to somehow adjust that, and I still don't see it. I wanted to make sure it's not here, and the other options, controls, video, audio, it's not gonna be there. Okay. That's maybe something that the developers should change. By the way, the game got released like a few hours before I'm recording this, so I'm pretty sure there'll be some patches coming pretty soon that will probably address some of these issues. There is one more thing that I would like to see changed when we enter the game, I will tell you. But other than that, I really like the game, I have to say. Okay, let's jump out of here. And now we'll create a new profile. This will be the only save file that we have available, which I have to say is something that I don't like for recording, because what can happen is that the one file may get corrupted, and if that happens, we could lose the whole series. So that's why, if I had the option, I would just play with save load available. I would like to have some backup files, but well, fingers crossed, hopefully nothing goes wrong, and we'll have a decent series. So, space. Do you want to play the tutorial again? I guess we do, because as I said, I want the game to introduce itself.
He needs us. The other has come for the Chosen One, and soon the veil will break. The suffering cannot continue. Suffering festers within him. The edge of reality frays. Each battle takes more and more out of me. The other could shred the veil and devour our world. Will you stay with me until the end? I'll give what I can, what I have left. Let it go here and no further.
Okay, so from what we have seen so far...
Watch, my friend.
Oops.
Once I move to strike, the first will fall.
Okay. So you can see that the game is pretty unique. Both the graphics and the story are, well, unusual. I'm still not sure if I like the art style or not. I guess it will take me some time to get used to. For example, here I like the surroundings. Not sure if I like the character models there, but yeah, as I said, it probably takes a bit of time to get used to it. For example, with Darkest Dungeon, I really didn't like the art when I first started playing the game, but I got used to it pretty quickly, and in the end, I actually liked it a lot, so it's probably gonna be the same thing here. This is the first pretty simple tutorial mission where we just learn the controls. So here's our main character. There is the enemy. The game just tells us the basic that we have hit points. If those reach 0, the character dies. Then we have action points. The game will talk about that a little bit more later. And the farther you move, the more action points will cost. Yeah, the movement costs action points. So we want to move to the enemy, jump forward.
The other sends more against us.
Instant action skills are played immediately and cost your action points. So the game wants us to use slash, which is an attack. Can we see the description somewhere? No. No, it's just our basic attack. That costs 35 action points. Hit the enemy, slice him in half. And now, this is one of the core mechanics of the game, and something that I'm not sure if I should say that it makes it different from like most of the turn-based games, because like almost every turn-based game has some kind of initiative, but here they made the core of the game, and it's very important that you work with the timeline and just constantly keep paying attention to how the order of the moves are like changing, because you can prepare some like interesting combos by like timing your actions properly. It almost adds one extra dimension to the fight. Okay, the timeline orders all units by their initiative and move forward whenever a unit ends their turn. A unit can play when it reaches 0 on the left side of the timeline. So here we are on 0, so that's the active character. Then something is gonna happen once we are done with our turn, and this is when we're gonna play again. Your unit will move to 50 on the timeline and recover all their action points. So when we end the turn, we move to 50. If our action points drop below 50, we decide to use more action points than 50, we won't drop to 50, but we will drop down to 100. So we will have our next action much later. So that's why there is this mark in the middle. That's why it's important. Okay, so now we are supposed to end the turn, so let's do that. Now let's try to get through this mission as quickly as possible. Okay, so that event that was supposed to happen was another enemy spawning. Delayed skills immediately end the unit's turn, and their powerful effects are activated later on the timeline. So, you have some skills that you activate, but their effects happen at some point later. You can see it on the timeline when it happens. Here in 30 units, this guy will shoot. Usually these abilities are much stronger because they are delayed, so you have to time them properly, and you can create like combos with these delayed mechanics. But if you screw up the timing, what can happen is what happened to me, that I prepared this nice combo and then I made one mistake, so everything procced before the enemy moved to me, so I hit the air like 3 times and then the enemy killed me. So yeah. Let's try to work on that a little bit, so it doesn't keep happening. What are we supposed to do now? The cult is prepared to delay massive shot. Okay, space to move on. Now, what do we want? We gain another ability, shield charge, so we want to activate that. As you can see, it's quite a few action points. Skill will delay the next action. Okay, so some instant actions can delay the target on the timeline. So this way, you are trying to avoid getting hit by some of these delayed actions, and you are trying to kill the enemy before he procs these delayed actions. And when you have like multiple characters on both sides, it's getting pretty complicated, and can be a bit of not a mess. You just have to get used to it, and like always keep an eye on the timeline. Interrupt skills. Interrupt skill can stop a single enemy attack and immediately launch a counter-attack. Interrupt skill costs health points. Yep, so that's a different type of a skill. Yeah, this Vengeful Stance that will cost us 20 hit points instead of action points. Now it's activated, and now something has to happen that will proc the ability. And that something should be the enemy coming into melee range. Now the attack procs, the enemy dies. More enemies are spawning. One important thing is that enemies that spawn can move on the turn when they spawn, but they can't attack on the turn. So
Fear not. I can stop the attack before it happens.
That makes preparations a little bit easier. I actually think they should at least add one difficulty level. Make the difference in the difficulty so that the easier difficulty, the enemies can't attack when they spawn, and the harder the difficulty will be that they can attack when they spawn. You'll see that once we get into the game, if the enemies could attack right away, it would make the game so much more difficult. And I would actually like some extra difficulty. Okay, some AoE damage. So if we get out of this. And there's some more enemies coming. So that's again the delayed action, the massive shot. Action points, burst. Your unit will go into burst if they start using their last 50 action point. That's what I was talking about earlier. This pushes your unit back to 100 on the timeline. So be careful to burst only when you need an extra move or to deal a killing blow to a wounded enemy. Some skills like shield charge can delay the enemy. Can delay the next time an enemy will play to give you more control on the timeline. Yep, as you can see, the word timeline just keep coming up over and over again. So this is the core mechanic of the game, and you just have to keep paying attention to how the fight develops. Here it's easy, but as I said, when you get multiple characters on both sides, it's getting a little more interesting. So, some more mechanics. We have dodge. Dodge is the percentage chance a unit has of avoiding an attack. Pretty simple. Then we have armor. Armor is a unit's protection. It represents the damage deduced from each attack received. Armor and damage can be modified by ally or enemy skills, so always pay attention to skill descriptions. So we have 0 dodge and 70 armor. And timeline once again. Remember, timeline is the key to winning battles. Oh, so it's just a sum of what we've learned before. Yep. So if you want to read it, just pause the video, please.
Your gift gives me such strength.
And now we should gain control of our character. I believe in you, control me freely. Now I give you the last of my strength. Maybe stand as long as possible. So yeah, what are our options? Here we can see the enemy, so 561 hit points, 31 armor, which means if we use a slash, we will kill him. Let's do that. And then, what else can we do? No. Guess we'll use shield charge. It's 50, so we'll be left with 15. That's great. First melee attack. This is not the melee attack, I think. This is a ranged attack. Well, let's find out if it works or not. I don't think so. I actually still, of course, don't know how the AI behaves. I'm not sure if, for example, it can shoot here, or if it even wants to shoot. If it may have the option, but the AI may work in a way that it first tries to retreat with range units before shooting. But we are definitely done for this turn. So let's end it. Let's see what's gonna happen. This one is gonna move. Well, that's pretty obvious. And the other one, we'll get a new spawn. This one is running away and not shooting. Okay, good to know. Well, that was interesting. How did this guy attack? So that maybe he was fast enough so that he spawned and got another action. It's possible. What we can do, how far can you go, by the way? We can see how far each enemy unit can move. You can see by those gray lines how far it can go. So you're gonna move that far. Thinking if I can... I should be able to kill this one. How much damage is the tornado gonna do? There's 10 delay, which is fine. I think I should just kill this guy, honestly. And just stay out of range. Kill it with the shield charge. get as far as possible. We can even activate the Vengeful Stance. As you can see, it costs 20 hit points. We have almost 5,000, so just in case someone gets to us. So there's another spawn. This one definitely won't make it. This one won't make it either. Actually, oh my. Okay, because I used all my extra power. This guy had an attack, and this one is gonna make it as well. And now we don't have the defense, so we did get hit. And as you can see, when you get flanked, you are taking extra damage. But it shouldn't happen again. So 700, 15% dodge though. I don't like that. Quite a lot. Not enough though. So we can get another kill here. This one doesn't have any dodge, so it's guaranteed. And once again, we used more than 50 action points. I guess I'll just stay here. And take it. Another thing that I didn't figure out is how to turn. As you can see, there are these arrows that show which direction you are facing, and sometimes you want to turn before you end the turn, but I don't think there is the option. That may be something they should add. This guy, that should be... Oh no, there's another one spawning.
He is here. The Chosen One. I don't want to harm you, little one.
But we want to harm you. Very much.
Failed. You most of all. I fought with every bone and sinew. All I am, I leave to you. Take it. My blood is my legacy. May it spill forth into an army to rend suffering from its host.
My voice destroyed a city. It's not enough. How soon will you hatch? I want you in this world. I want to see what you can do. To those that hurt me. To those you will hurt. I can't wait.
Do not despair. My life lights your path. Do you remember our journey together? This time, let me guide you You will wield my memories like a sword, and with them, grow our army. This dark corner of existence is a harbinger. Soon all will follow. The very fabric of our reality is threatened. My last breath is near. My daughters, you are of me. Put an end to suffering.
Okay, Othercide is a game about sacrifice and tough choices. Progress is auto-saved, so there is no turning back. The enemies in Othercide are lethal and every mistake will cost you dearly. Your daughters will die and you will lose, only to rise stronger again. The game expects players to fail, but failure is not the end. Excuse me. After ending a run, you restart with additional bonuses and even the ability to resurrect fallen daughters for a cost. Actually not sure what to think about it. It's not the first time that I saw this mechanic in a game, that the more you play, the easier the game becomes. Like, I don't know, like, the more I play, the more I know about the game, the better I should be at the game. So I want the game to be more difficult, not easier. At least please add the option to make the game more difficult somehow, because it just, I don't know, it seems weird that they would make the game easier for the next run. But well, it is what it is, so let's jump in.
From this side of the veil, I can give you my daughters, birthed from my soul. You will need them to fight. What
Okay,
memory
chronomap.
has this
Oops.
agony uncovered?
Still talking? I hope not. So this is chrono map. From here you'll be able to manage your daughters in the inner void, select your next mission from the attack menu, and the day. Let's enter the inner void to germinate a new daughter. Okay, let's get some more characters. So this is like the main menu of the campaign, of the actual game. So inner void, and we have two characters, these daughters. We want another one. Welcome to the inner void. Here you can manage your daughters. Yep. Enter the birthing pool. Here you can manage your daughters. Working on it. So here we have to invest this Vitae. For 200 we can get a new character. So let's get a new one. We can name them if we want to, or just generate random names. Let's go with Hope. Next, we have one Blade Master, one Soul Singer. We don't have Shield Bearer, so I guess that's what we want here. Blade Master excels in melee duels. Soul Singer supports sisters from afar. So this is not like a supported character, even though it says supported sisters. It's like a ranged character, like a demon hunter, something along those lines. And Shield Bearer protects his sisters. Okay. Let's get the Shield Bearer. Here we can see stats of different classes. And later there should be more classes. I guess we just have to play and unlock them. I have no idea what they're gonna be. I just know that there will be more, at least 2 more from what I've noticed. Okay.
The others are converging, warping reality. You must stop suffering from feeding. Go. Close the first synapse.
And this is something like a map where we choose missions. These There are these nodes. I don't know how to call them. I think this is the node. Not this one. This is like a boss, I think. This should be the node. Like missions. So every day, more of these shining nodes will spawn. And we then decide which of them we attack. And those are the missions that we do where we get like loot experience. And here on the map, these are days. So as we progress, there are some random events along those lines during some days, and this is, I guess, a battle with the boss. I don't know how long the game lasts or anything. During my test run, I think I managed to make it to day 2. I did like 3 missions. So all of that we'll have to find out. Now, we want to attack, or the game is telling us to attack right away, so no more preparations. Okay, fine. Oh, this is how it's called. Not nodes, synapses. There, it's a hunt. New mission or synapses appear each day. Be it a synapse to close it. So here for the hunt that is challenging, we will get some Vita, then there are some shards, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to use. The game will be talking about shards later and experience. Okay. I think I actually have to lose a couple of times, or like restart a couple of times to be able to use the shards, because that's something that you use as a currency to make the next run easier. I think that's how it works. So for the first run, you actually can't use the shards, which is weird. They should probably give us at least the option to use a few shards, just to like figure out how it works, because when you are playing for the first time and there is a currency that you can't use, it's just weird. Okay, so here we have to pick daughters that will join the mission, so we'll take all of them, of course. Everyone is level 1, as we would expect. And there we start mission. Here it tells us, I'm not sure what the openness means exactly. If it means that it's like an open map, I don't know how a closed map would then look like. Really don't know what the openness means. And then we have trends, so it's gonna be curse therapist and plague doctors. We have like an encyclopedia, I'm not sure, codex, I think it's called codex in the game, where we can read about all the enemies. So that's why you know these names, so you can better prepare for each mission basically when you know what you will be up against. I guess later some of the enemies might be hidden, things like that. Just the usual stuff what you would expect from a game like this. So let's jump in.
Farewell, daughters.
Well, when it's engaged melee combat, attacks coming from the flank or the back will hurt more. Yep.
How many have died to appease suffering's
What you would
ambition?
expect in a game like this.
How many more?
And here we are. So, the one more thing that I'm really missing in this game is the option to rotate map. You can move on the map like this, but you can't rotate. And it's so frustrating when the enemy hides behind an obstacle and you can't rotate the camera to see him better. Well, that's hopefully will get fixed soon. For now, as long as the map is not too crowded, I guess it's not the end of the world. So what can we see here? We know how many enemies we have to kill. So the objective is to hunt all creatures. There will be 4 of them. There is the timeline, and here is always the active character. So first it's Hope, who is our shield bearer, and we want to check how far these guys can go. So that's 1, and that's 2, so they can't get anywhere near us. so I want to go like here. Wait. Oh, the shield bearer is down here. What are our skills? As we level up, we get more skills. For now, it's quite limited. So we have lunge, deals 209 damage 3 times for 30 points. Then we have slam, that does damage and delays the target. What are we up against? This guy's quite fragile. Maybe I'll just stay here, honestly. There's no reason to move. It's often the best course of action in this game to just wait for the enemy to get to you. I'll just move a little bit. And because you can see how far they can go, it's much easier to plan. Oh, there's another one? Did this one just spawn, or...? Okay, how far can you go? Not far enough. Let's move forward. And now we're gonna use the lunge. 1, 2, 3.
Exquisite.
This one.
Memories of
Here, which is
another
not
life.
close enough.
Guard them well.
I know this Guardian unlocked. That's probably a trait. The other one... Actually, let's end the turn here. It should be fast in... No, we won't be fast enough. Should probably move away. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm far enough now, but we'll find out. Is he gonna... Interesting. Didn't move all the way for some reason. So who's next? That's our soul slinger. Shot. Are we in range? We are. Range detected deals up to 80 damage 3 times, log the target in its current direction. And then intercepting round, which is interrupt. That's the type of the ability. Interrupt the first attack on an ally within 10 range, but it costs us 10 hit points. I'm pretty sure we should be able to clear this with just active skills. I'm gonna use the shot only twice. Is it gonna be enough? It has to be. And as you can see, if I use only 2 shots, Grace's next action should be before this guy moves. So yeah, we want to end the turn here. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a kill with Felicity. Imbued Blade, that's a delayed action, so a lot of damage, but it's not dealt immediately. There is the 30 initiative unit delay, so it's quite difficult to plan because this is just a frontal attack. It's not a cone or anything, so it's pretty specific where the enemy has to be if you want to hit. Just move to this guy. We're gonna use that slash.
I revel in her strength.
Okay, then we'll have a spawn. Where is that spawn?
Will the poor one's suffering never end?
Here. Pretty far away, so we don't have to worry about that. It's gonna spawn now.
They worship torture and call it science.
So how far can you go? Far enough. This is far, like, he is close enough to attack. If he moves here, he can attack diagonally. Grace. Let's see. I think we'll just wait, honestly. Don't want to get closer to this guy. He has ranged attacks, so let's wait for him. Now we're gonna kill him. Should be fine.
One less to plague the innocent.
How far can you go once again? Not far enough. That should be exactly 50, which means we can use the shot twice. Although this guy has 34 armor, so it won't be that much. I think it should be enough. Or if I moved, you know, let's just play it as safe as possible. Move away. I'll let him come to me. You want to be very careful when the fight is basically decided. You really don't want to take unnecessary damage, because the damage isn't healed automatically in between missions. Oh, it was enough.
Flawless.
I just have to get used to the damage that we...
My brave daughter is spent. She must rest till a new day.
Okay, so each daughter can join only one mission every day. Later we will get multiple missions every day, and for that we need to grow the size of like the number of daughters that we have available. Continue.
Come what may, we will slow suffering's progress.
So as you can see, we reached level 2, and here, who is this? That's the Blade Master. Unlocked a trade. I thought that the Shield Bearer unlocked a trade there. Guess I was wrong. Recollections. Recollection ends if you have no way to continue, if you get beaten by a boss, or if you choose to end it yourself. This will let you start a new try on the first day and give you access to more shards, shard resources that you gain from missions and can use to buy remembrances, power-ups. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. For the first run, I don't think we'll be able to use shards at all. We have to fail to unlock shards. Or unlock, like, get access to them. Select next day. You can only move to the next day after closing at least one synapse. Okay? Rest your daughters. Daughters need to rest. They cannot fight more than once per day. Is there anything that we can do? No, the first day is scripted. We have to end it.
The child has surfaced another memory. Of help or hindrance, I cannot say.
And because there is an event, what happened? Day 1, extinguished. All damage is increased by 20%, so I guess that's on both sides. Vita gains are increased by 50%. Okay, that's good for us. So we will have better rewards for missions. The child wept as the young woman lays lifeless in his arms. Learn a new skill. One of our daughters can learn a new skill in the inner void. So let's jump into the inner void and observe her in more detail, learn about her. Here you can see your daughter's stats, traits, and skills. Got that. Skills can be unlocked by reaching new levels of mastery and upgraded with memories. Open the traits tab. This daughter has earned a new trait, reflecting what she has experienced. Excuse me. Traits cannot be removed or changed even in death. You have the option to resurrect daughters if you find resurrection tokens, which should be this. So that's what they are talking about, even in death. Okay, so you're supposed to check what traits here, right? We got aggressive, damage plus 50. I think that's applied to all abilities, just flat plus 50 damage to all skills. Stats and skills. So we can get a new skill. Each time you unlock a new skill, you have to choose between two different abilities. The problem here, at least from what I've learned so far, is that when a Blade Master reaches level 2 or Mastery 2 or however it's called in the game, you always get Lightning Strike and immovable stance. So you choose one or the other and that's it. They should probably add like a pool of skills for each level, so it's not always the same skills. Because if you play the game 2 or 3 times, then you run out of like different ways how to progress your characters pretty quickly. So if there were like 5 options, or like a pool of 5 options, and 2 of those were picked randomly every time for each character, then you would get much higher variety. But well, it is what it is. So here I like Lightning Strike a lot. Dash 5 tiles, deal damage, perfect. Move and attack at the same time. It's usually strong. Then we have Immovable Stance, which is a reaction that goes 5% hit points. React to an enemy finishing movement in melee range and deal up to 550 damage. So when you activate this and an enemy moves to melee range, you should attack him at that point before he has the chance to do anything else, which is not bad. The question is the AI smart enough to like play around this? Because then you just, if the AI is smart enough, you just paid 5% hit points, the AI avoids you for a turn, and well, you've basically skipped a turn. So I think I prefer the actions where it's guaranteed that something is gonna happen. Well, let's take Lightning Strike. Can we see how to augment them? Yeah. Later we'll get memories. I think the game mentioned it, that can be used as augments for skills, from just basic add damage to like effects that move you on the timeline, things like that, and you have 1 augment per skill. If you want to augment something, you have to have the memory and you have to pay the vitae. So that's like a currency for almost everything. So you can further like adjust each character, but still, so far I'm not sure how much variety there will be if you want to replay the game like 5 times. Back. So that's 1 level up. We'll check the memories in a second. Then we have Grace. So for Grace we have Shadow Round, which is a reaction for 5% action points. Deal up to 213 damage to enemy in range, taking damage from an ally. So when an ally attacks and this is active, you shoot as well. And the other one, Wrathful Rain, instant action for 35 action points, deal damage, and then move away. Here, if I click on it, we can see how it works. Shoot, jump up, shoot under where you started, and then you jump back, which for a range character is always great when you have this option to retreat. So I'll definitely take the Wrathful Rain. And the last one for the shield bearer. Here we have Blacksmith of Grace, which is a reaction again for 5%. Increases armor by 180 for 40. I guess that's for 40 like initiative or time units, and move up to 15 initiative units on the timeline for each incoming attack. This one is interesting and definitely has potential. But I think the shield badge is still better. They're up to set amount of damage and push target 5 tiles. Enemies pushed into each other or an object take up to 120 damage. When you can move enemies, it's always pretty strong, so I'll take the shield badge. Okay, that's the level ups. Now we can check. Remembrances. Is the game gonna tell us anything? Yeah. Remembrance gives you access to bonuses that last through the whole recollection. Remembrance remains unlocked once it is unlocked, even if you start a new recollection. Unlocking a remembrance doesn't activate it automatically. You must use shards to activate it. You earn shards every time you complete a mission, but your pool of shards is limited to those you had at the start of the recollection. Once you start a new recollection, you get access to all your earned shards. So, because our pool was 0 at the start of this run or this recollection, that's why I don't think we will be able to use shards at all. So we won't really have too many options here, but at least the first one is viable because it doesn't cost anything. Damaged left eyeball, already unlocked. Start the run with 2 memories. Torn from its socket, this eyeball stares infinitely into nothingness. Surrounding the pupil is a golden halo that oozes blood from its myriad of gashes. Okay, well, let's activate it if we can. Space, activate, there we go. So, start a run with 2 memories. Oh, does it mean that I have to that the next run that I start will be with 2 memories? It doesn't really do anything right here. Yeah, that's what it is probably. Then we have a codex. This is like the encyclopedia. So I will just go through all of these, but I won't read them. If you want to read everything for yourself, just please pause the video. I read all of this in my test run. But as we will discover more and more as we play, I will always stop and read everything, make sure that I don't miss something important. So we start with the Red Mother. That was, I guess, the character that we played as during the tutorial mission. Then another Mother. Not sure what the difference really is here. Then Blade Master, Shield Bearer, Soul Slinger, nothing surprising there. And then the enemies. I like here the description that tells you how they are most likely or how they should behave. The Plague Doctor attacks with melee attacks and will focus the closest target. If 2 doctors are the same distance away, it will focus the one with less hit points. So I guess I'll have to just learn how these guys look like on the map and how they behave, and then it will be even easier predict how the AI is gonna behave, and I guess that way you'll be able to prepare the like the delay attacks. When you can say what the AI is gonna do, then you can lure them into traps. It may take a while to learn. Oh, the Plague Doctor, Plague Guard, Plague Butcher. Then we have Curse Therapist. And then we have a Scavenger. I think that's the last that we know about for now. Yeah, so that's characters. Then we have memories. Recalling memories by slaying enemies will unlock a chapter of Mother's history. And what did we get? Oh, we got actually quite a few. So we got Witch. Increase the critical chance of a skill by 5%. 5% isn't that much. I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm gonna read it for myself. A group of villagers were approaching our field. Something was wrong. It was clear by the way they walked, by how they spoke amongst themselves. There she is, one of them shouted, pointing in my direction. The bleeding Voidkin. Never had I seen such fury in someone's eyes, and so I fled as quickly as I could. Their screams ringing in my ears all the while. Okay. Then Rush, I know this one. This one is great for the range character. So that's Rush. Then we have Drill. I know this one as well. With 20% increase. That's for skills that have high base damage. And then Guardian. Don't think I know this one either. Increased damage done by the target by 25% for 30 initial. How does this work? Damage done by the target? Is it some kind of modifier for a buff? That it adds another effect to a buff, perhaps? Maybe? They say the Khan's soldiers aren't human, you know. Don't really believe it myself. Probably some hogwash to lower their enemies. Lower their enemies' morale, I reckon. Besides, we've got the Huntress Blade. Nothing to worry about. The Paladin gave a hard chuckle, nudging me in the shoulder with a wide grin. My irritation must have slipped through the cracks, for he quickly cleared his throat and corrected his posture. Oh, that is to say, madam, don't want you or the troops worrying none. Not that I think you're worried. What with your skills and all, and me at your side. But before he could prattle on further, I'd already boarded the ship. Yes, this will all make a lot more sense when we get all the pages and all the chapters. And then we have events. So far, just extinguished, I think. Oh, that's the modifier for this day. Oh, okay. So this is the list of all the modifiers that you can have during each day. Increased damage and beta against increased. Okay. Is there anything that we are missing here that I missed? Or is there still the mark that, like, I'm missing something? Oh, it should be gone. Okay, we have 550 beta, which is enough to recruit some more daughters. I think I'm gonna do that for this day. There should be 2 missions now, I think. Memories recovered. Memories are obtained when killing certain enemies. They are upgrades you can assign to the skills, adding various effects, anything from increased damage or defense to impacting the timeline. Additionally, every memory unlocks a new part of the codex in the memories section. Yeah, you know that. Hello? There we go. So, there's 1 and there's 2. So, we recruit 2 more and send the new ones with one of the more experienced ones for 1 mission. From that mission, we should get some more beta to recruit another character, and then we should have 6 people, and so we should be able to clear both. Which means we want to jump back to the inner void. And
Give life to our daughters.
Germinate.
Please, guide her well.
Let's go. Modesty. Space. This is gonna be the second Blade Master.
Now, unleash her on any who stand in her way.
This is gonna be a second Shield Bearer. Temperance, sure.
Give life to our daughters. Now, unleash her on any who
Okay, so
stand
we'll
in her
take the
way.
Soul Slinger. Actually, speaking about Soul Slingers, probably shouldn't activate any of the memories because it will cost me Vita. I want to make sure that I can do both missions today. So first we'll do the mission, then check how much Vita we have, if we can afford to use one memory after we recruit another character or spawn another character or whatever it really is called, germinate. Okay, but I think that's gonna be all for this episode. I think we went through the whole tutorial basically. From now on we can just start playing freely, more or less. I guess there'll be some more like mechanics that we'll encounter as we play, but I think we have the basics covered. So I hope that you like this episode, that you like the game, that you're gonna join me for the next episode again. And until then, have a good time. Bye bye.